This is Mitch Stephen with the 1000 Houses podcast. I'm here with Charles Dobens. We're friends from way back, and we don't get to see each other all the time, but it's like we never left when we connect. So we should have had the last 10 minutes on because we were just going off on all kinds of stuff right now.
I was just going to say the exact same thing. Most of the best stuff that we talk about is on the editing room floor of this show. You know, we won't even hit the day. How about the last time we were on? You were taking your shirt off, showing me your belly and how skinny you were. That was awesome. I was so happy for you. That was great. Bravo, bravo.
By the way, I still have that weight off. I went from 36 waist to 28, and I'm still in 28 waist jeans. So, you know,
wow. I went from 36 to 32. I'm hovering around 33, you know, so yeah, it feels so much better. So
we were talking. So let's get this out of the way. Some people may not know who you are. This is Charles Dobens. He's up there around the Massachusetts area, and he does multifamily, and he's been around for a long time. And he's not one of those guys that's telling you two could be rich and then having his car repossessed, you know, next month. This guy actually lives it. He's done over $500 million in transactions. He currently owns and operates, you know, $20 million worth of stuff. So, I mean, this guy's a player. And I also like his coaching style because it's a lot like mine. Like, if you hire for coaching for me, you're going to get me. If you hire Charles, you get him.
Yeah.
It's not a call or two calls a month for $40,000 or $50,000. It's like, when you need help, let's talk now, you know?
You know, I tell you, when I was on do some of those group, you know, like on Shark Pool, there are about 50 people on there, and they're asking me about my coaching program. I said, hey, listen, my students have my cell phone number. They call me whenever they want me. As a matter of fact, watch this. And I dial a phone number. And I said, everybody look at Joe Smith on there. His phone is about to ring, and he's a client of mine, and I've got him right here, and he picks up the phone, and the two of us are talking to each other right in front of all the other people, just to show that, hey, you didn't sign up for somebody that just, you know, went to one of my courses and maybe invested passively. You want to deal with me because I've done this all a million times before. That's why you pay me the money.
Yes, because just like anyone who's been living it that's now coaching it, they can tell by your conversation, the hair starts to stand up on their neck. I know what's going on here. You know, I've been down this road. I can see where we're going. You know, you need to protect yourself, or you need to cover yourself, or whatever. But give us a little bit of your background. I gave some, but I'm sure I didn't.
Yeah, you know, really. I always wanted to own apartments, but took the path of least resistance out of college, which was the family insurance business. Hated it. Went to law school. While I was in law school, I was working a particular niche of the insurance business and making a ton of money. And so I got out of law school. I was like, you know, I should just go off and keep doing this because I can't afford to be a lawyer. And I jump over and I start my own company. I have about 35 employees working for me, and life is miserable. And Mitch, I said this one time in front of a whole crowd, and it like, you know, came into my mind before I even thought about it. I said, how many people, the worst time of the week for them is Sunday night? And I thought it was just me. I thought I was going to get zero, and I would have to explain to everybody why I asked that. But I started to watch everybody's head going up and down. Like, wow, other people hated Sunday night as much as I did, because it was always followed up by Monday morning, where you go in and get your ass handed to you, you know, from the god awful business that I was in. So finally I said to my wife, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to kill myself. I gotta get out of it. She said, what do you want to do? I said, I've always wanted to own apartments. So I said, let's go do it. And she said, yep, I'm in. Sold the business, started buying apartments, did incredibly well. Market crashed, kept some, lost some. But I also learned at that point that some of the people that I'm friends with in this business, they didn't know what they were doing. They did not know what they were doing. So I decided at that point, I should be teaching these people how to do this business the right way. And that's when I started coaching and mentoring. And that was what, over 10 years ago. And I tell you, Mitch, I can't wait to get to work every morning. I wake up at 5:30, chomping at the bit, because I just love getting out there and helping my students. That's the key.
Yeah, it's got to be a passion. And we were talking, it's just not about the coaching fee. It's about playing on a winning team and going to the Super Bowl with somebody. You know what I mean? I actually have like a 45-minute interview before I let someone pay me that big fee. Like, I need to figure out how I'm going to help them get that money back. And if I can't figure it out.
I love that you say it that way, that you say it like it's just, you want to be on a winning team. I mean, I get some people that like, listen, you're really nice. I mean, you can go watch a bunch of my courses and stuff, but I can't help you. You're not the right person for me. And I'll tell you something, this just happened to me yesterday, where after about 3 talks with this one person, I said, I can't help you. I'm sorry. Your mental attitude is just not cut out for this business. I mean, you're looking for every excuse why you can't do it. I don't want to be your doctor. I don't want to be your therapist. So.
Yes, same here. So when you're in let's reel it into the multifamily. When you're in the multifamily business, what business are you really in?
You're really in the sales and marketing business. And if you don't understand that, then, and really same with any entrepreneurial bent, you are in sales and marketing. And one of I try to stress is, I know within the first phone call with somebody whether they're going to be a huge success or not. And that is those people who come into this business with a sales and marketing background. It's all about prospecting. It's all about asking for the order. It's all about making offers. That's what you need to be focusing on early on in your business. And if you fail to do that, you're just going to be sitting around, wondering why your one offer this quarter is not getting accepted. And it just drives me crazy. So we focus on teaching people that this is a sales and marketing business. We're going to give you the tools and the techniques in order to build your sales and marketing process early on in the business so that it gets you through that first deal. And all it takes is first 2 deals. After that, this is an easy business.
Hey, well, that's kind of a segue to the giveaway you have. Tell me if it ties in, but I think it does. You're giving away the Multifamily Market Finder, where it helps people find deals. Is that what it is? Yeah,
well, not just find deals. First off, find the market that they want to buy in. And because one time, one student, he just closed his 4th deal in the last 2 years with me. And I tell you something, Mitch, for the first year, this guy was spinning his wheels. He was all over the place. And I said, why are you looking in Tallahassee and then Indianapolis? And then he says, because that's where the brokers send me deals. I said, so you're letting the brokers dictate where your business should be. That's totally backward. You should pick a market that is right for you. It could be your own backyard. Absolutely could be your own backyard, but you need to find a market that you become an expert in. And I show you how to become an expert in your market, and then just focus on those properties in that marketplace that meet your investment criteria and just go to those owners. I mean, you think about it, who are your customers in the multifamily business? I ask that question to students and they don't even know what it is. Your investors, they give you money. They are your customer. The owners of the properties, they are your customers. Nothing happens in this business until you have an accepted offer. And that's why you got to make lots of offers. The first one that comes back, that's the customer saying, I want to buy your product, which is your offer. You focus on those 2 customers, you're going to find the deals. You're going to make this business work for you. You don't even know who your customers are. You're just working up numbers on a spreadsheet. That's all you're doing. You're not building a business. It can
be a lot of brain damage too, because So I want everyone to go to 1000houses.com/MFOS, which stands for Multifamily Operating System. So go to 1000houses.com/MFOS. Get your free copy of the Multifamily Market Finder, which will help you figure out what market you want to go into. Where do you want to do business? Yeah. And if you look at this right, I train some people to do seller financing from far away, from a distance. And that presents a little bit of a challenge, right? Because there is that distance, whether it be 200 miles or 2,000 miles, it's all the same. And the cool thing is, though, it's a little bit more of a challenge to work far away. But once you do it, you've created more of a real business, right? Because you can't go rake the leaves in the yard or do whatever,
No. Yeah. You don't want them to. You don't want them doing that. That's not what a business owner does. That's what not an entrepreneur does not do that. That's, as Michael Gerber says in his book, E-Myth Revisited, that's a technician. That's, you can get anybody to do that. You are no longer the entrepreneur. You're no longer the manager. You're the technician. And that's the biggest mistake that new entrepreneurs make. And that's why they can never scale their business and grow it, because they're stuck down at the bottom, just being a technician.
I like what you said. Your customers are the money lenders and the sellers. That's your customers if you're in the multifamily business, because the only way you get ahead in this business is to add units.
Yeah. And to have the money. I mean, what you're doing, if you think about it theoretically, you're nothing more than a broker. You're a broker between your investor's money and a deal that you found. You're just matching up the money with the deal, and you're staying, you've got your hand out in the stream of commerce, and you're keeping your piece of the pie. That's what you're doing. So you got to get out there and find that deal and find the money.
So you're also an attorney, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's my bar card if anyone wants to. I've got it right here. Just so happen to have it in my pocket. So
the reason why I find that interesting is because that's sure helpful when it comes to writing leases and figuring out what you can and can't do and how you deal with problems. I mean, that's a great person to learn from who already has that side, because a lot of this business is that side, the legal paperwork and how to evict right and what you can and can't do, stay out of trouble. So I find that interesting, a good combination, attorney and real estate investor.
As I like I do with you, when you get a new person on, you give that initial interview, I always explain to them, I am a lawyer. I am not going to be your lawyer. You will hire a lawyer, because I can't represent people outside of Massachusetts, but most of my clients are all over. But I'm going to look, act, and feel like an attorney in the process. When you need something and you call your attorney, you don't expect the attorney to wait 2 weeks for the next coaching call before he gives you the advice. You need that advice right away. So that's why my clients have my cell phone number, and I pick up the phone when my clients call and I give them the answer. But I have written all the contracts, the purchase and sale contract, to protect my students. They don't send out a piece of paper, not a letter of intent, a purchase and sale contract, until I've reviewed it, and then they turn it over to their local counsel. I always want to make sure that for a deal to be done correctly, it starts with the very first piece of paper, which is the offer. So we have to write that offer correctly on day one, and then it'll sail right through the entire process. But my purchase and sale contract is not valid in all 50 states. So that's why you always need to have local counsel to review it.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to give that disclaimer myself, because I'm not even an attorney. But so I just say, look, I don't know if any of this crap works, but I've been doing it for 30 years. So you need to take it to your lawyer and review what I've done. And by the way, if they find an improvement, I need to know about it, because if there's a hole, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or if they think they found a mistake, give them a call and I'll educate them about the process. Because you know more than a lawyer does.
That's usually what happens. One time,
exactly.
I went to this attorney to deal with land trusts, and he didn't know what a land trust was, so I had to explain it all to him. And then he showed him how cool it was and everything you could do and all this stuff. And then he sent me a bill for $250, and I called him up and says, "You owe me $250. Yeah. I taught you about something you knew nothing about. What are you sending me a bill for?" Yeah, no, that was a membership into his new course on land trusts that he's teaching down at the local RIA club. Yeah. So what are some of the market trends right now? I mean, most people, including me, I'm kind of in this box where it says, wow, they are getting a premium among premiums for apartment complexes right now, like 4% cap rates or whatever. Tell us, if people say that about the housing market, like how in the hell do you find so many houses when it's such a hot market? So well, I'm not looking where it's move-in ready. I'm looking where there's a problem. Right. Absolutely. I mean, we're looking still value add is the way we have to go in this business. That's where the money is being made. If you're seeing deals being done where it's like there's nothing to do to the property, stay away. Yeah, I mean, always think to yourself, what would Warren Buffett do in this situation? Would he be buying in Phoenix right now? Hell no. So why are you buying an overpriced property in an overpriced market and expecting that, it's just going to keep on going? It just doesn't work that way.
So the trends that we're seeing, the smart money is you're looking for value add properties that can survive any market shifts. You're looking for, a lot of ground up construction is still making a lot of sense, especially if you're getting the land for very cheap money. Those numbers still work. But some of these deals that, Class B, Class A property in the primary markets, you got stupid foreign money coming in here. You got, and I don't know if you're very good at geography, but when I say stupid foreign money, I mean California investors.
Yes.
Yeah, that just doesn't make sense. So, yeah, we are. We're saying no more often than we're saying yes to deals right now, and I think that's the most.
Isn't that always the case, anyways? Like even with rare exception, maybe in the middle of the recession, you're getting more deals than you can really handle. I was buying a house a day in the recession, for almost 2 months when I scared myself. But but how that happens is I had the private money. The banks closed during the recession, basically, and it was a perfect setup. If you had put in the time and found a lot of private lenders, you know what I mean, and had them in the wings.
Yeah, but okay, that's. I love what you just said. People need to always be doing that, even in the high times. You're going to be lining up that money.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late when the recession is. They're not. It's going to be hard for someone to want to take a chance and get to know you when there's so much fear and pandemonium in the streets. Because of the recession. You got to do some deals with these people in the good times so that as the bad times comes, they're not afraid.
Yeah. I'll tell you, one of the biggest problems new investors have is they're afraid to talk to the investors. And what I found early on were that my clients would come back and say, hey, had a great lunch with this investor. He's got $100,000. He's going to invest with me. I said, okay, in what? What do you mean in what? I mean, like in what's he going to invest? Oh, in multifamily. Okay, yeah, but I mean, value add, Class B. I mean, what location? Like, oh, I didn't ask him any of that. Well, then listen, you've just given this guy a big out for when you come to him with the first deal and say, hey, I need your 100,000. Well, that's not really what I was looking for in my deal. That's not exactly it, because you didn't vet the person out. And so what I did, knowing that that's a big problem for new investors, when you come on into my program, you get your own VA trained by me, employed by me, but working for you. You get my customer relationship management tool that is geared towards investors, owners, and brokers, the three types of customers. And in the investor side, you can generate a link that you can send out in an email, put it on your website, and it asks your investors all of those questions. What are you looking for? How much do you have? How long will you be investing for? And then determines if they're a accredited investor. They hit the enter button, and all that information goes right into your CRM, and you can start doing blast emails, shooting messages out to these people, letting them know every step of the way how your journey is going, so that when the time comes, when you've got that great deal and you're ready, these people already know who you are. And they've been listening to you for months and years now, because you've been keeping them in the loop in the process.
You can even use a case study of a deal that you've already consummated. It's already done. It's not available right now, but let me show you a typical deal that we've done. Show them the typical deal so that they can get a sense for what they're going to be asked for and what they're going to get in return. And here's a key. I think a lot of my students have this limiting belief that who's going to want to give me money? And I'm thinking, it's not about you. It has nothing to do with you. If you have a good syndication deal, Charles Manson should have been able to raise the money.
Yeah, and we know he convinced people to do other things, He was good. He was a salesman. It's all about sales and marketing, Mitch. I tell you that.
Oh, so, it doesn't matter if you don't speak English that good, or you have a bankruptcy in your past, or you don't have that much experience. It's not about you. It's about the deal. Get to the deal. The deals is what sells everything. I know for longtime listeners, that sounds cliche. For new people, it sounds too easy. But, I have $26 million of private money that I make payments on the first of every month. I did it one person at a time. No one ever jumped with $1 million. They always wanted to do the smallest deal I had. They wanted to fill me out. They wanted to get their lawyer to look at the paperwork. They wanted to do one deal and see if I actually filed the deeds and if everything got filed right. That's during the good times. And then when the recession hits, they're like, I'm just going to stay with this dude. He always makes a payment.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you, it's you start with the singles. The Warren Buffett says, don't go swinging for the fences all the time. Just build up your business with singles. And I see that these people with a go big or go home mentality, like, no, you can get to 1,000 units in 5 years with 20 units in the first year. That's all you got to do. It's all you got to do. And 5 years comes so fast, and before you know it, you're right there. So
yeah, I never hit a home. I never hit a big $1 million home run in my life. Never.
Yeah.
I think the most I ever made on one deal was, instead of, I'm not counting the buy and holds, the properties I held for 10 years, and then sold. I'm not counting that. I'm talking about I bought something and I wanted to make some money. It was about 98,000, but I made tons and tons of 25,000, 30,000, 15,000 hits, all along the way. I preferred it that way.
Well, that was how I got
gamble everything.
When I got started in coaching, I didn't go for the big $40,000 and $50,000 programs. I didn't, charging people that. I easily could. I did the monthly fees. I wanted to prove my worth every single month. Like I had to show you, I had to bring value to you every single month, or you didn't have to pay me. And so my first programs were continuity programs for coaching. And I got to tell you, Mitch, it was the best thing in the world, because I didn't set up any, half-hour coaching calls. I never did, never will. I'd go out of my mind. But if my student needs me, 2 minutes on the phone, boom, we're done. And
that's the same here. Like they go, well, when can I talk to you? I said, whenever you need me, dial the phone. I said, here's the thing. 911 is always life or death. 811 means I'm in a closing. They're trying to squeeze my, what, and they're trying to make me sign something I'm not sure about, and I need an answer now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So 811, I'll walk out of my lunch or something. If it's an 811, I say, hey, I need 30 seconds. I call you up. You give me the highs and lows real quick.
Yeah.
Make a decision.
Yeah. I've done that before, where a client calls me up at the closing table and says, Charlie, this guy's trying to, screw me on the security deposits. He says that he's going to use them for delinquent tenants. And I said, no. Turn to page 19, article 13. You can't do that. It says it right there. Have a nice day. And, that's
all it takes sometimes,
Yeah.
As a student, you just don't know what you don't know. And what a confidence builder and low anxiety trip into creative real estate when you have someone who's already been down the road.
I tell you, I think one of the best things that I do for my clients is I bring them confidence. And I tell them, like, tomorrow morning, I'm on the phone again with a broker and one of my students. And we've already done it before. We did it last week, and he just thought, wow, that was fantastic. I get on the phone and he listens to how I talk to a broker. And when we're done, he's like, okay, I'm getting it. I'm getting it now. I mean, because they come into it, they don't know what to say. They're going to know I've never done it before. So what? I mean, like, how many have they purchased? I had this one client. Oh man, the poor lady. Every single time she talked to a broker, they'd always ask her for a proof of funds letter. Always. Which, Mitch, that means that the broker's just trying to kick her off, like get her out of the way, because he can tell by the way she's talking that she doesn't know what she's doing. I said, next time you're going to talk to a broker, let me get on the phone with you. Go through the whole thing. Do you think the broker asked me for a proof of funds letter?
No, he knew you were a pro.
Exactly. I said, that's how you do it. I mean, it just takes five times on the phone with a broker. After that, you're going to be a legend.
So let me ask you a question. I heard a comment the other day from Eddie Speed, I think, and then I heard a comment. I heard the same comment, but in a different venue. But he's saying some of these apartments are going to be coming online. There should be some opportunities, because as interest rates go up, a lot of these apartment guys were buying with adjustable rate mortgages, or 5-year adjustments or whatever. And the timing might be such that it's going to throw, if they pay too much for these properties, the higher interest rate's going to throw them upside down. And the same thing for storage facilities. A lot of self-storage facility owners, I know, because the loan I was offered was variable rate, and I will only take a variable rate if they give me a ceiling and I can live with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but a lot of people didn't. They just signed the variable rate. Bankers always going, well, the rates can't go up that much. You know, I mean, we're good. Then sign a ceiling. Well, yeah. Don't talk that shit unless you want to put it in writing, because I'm not stupid.
Yep. I tell you, Eddie Speed's right. Eddie Speed is absolutely correct. And the thing is, that's the first we're going to see it happen with bridge loans. And the people who get these bridge loans because they can't get conventional financing because the deal doesn't pencil out, it doesn't qualify, the occupancy is too low. And so they get a limited window on when they get to turn this property around and make it happen. And if they can't do it, 3 years comes, and now instead of, their original strategy was to refinance it into a particular loan, and now a point and a half, even 2 points higher, and they won't be able to refinance. Those are the first ones that are going to start coming back to the bank, the bridge financing. Then you're going to look at the adjustables, the short term, like the 5 years. Those are the next, because of people, once those interest rates start going up, when you listen to these gurus, or not gurus, but the syndicators who are doing it, it's like, oh no, this property, we've already stressed it. It can handle this particular interest rate. Like, that's fine. That's fine if your property can handle that interest rate. But what happens is, over the next couple of years, as interest rates go up, cap rates are going to start to go up as well, because the people buying property will not be able to afford as much property as before, because their interest rates are killing them. So the price is going to come down on the property. So how is that going to impact these people who are looking to get out of their adjustable 5-year terms? It's going to kill them. So Eddie Speed's right. You're going to start to see waves. It's going to start with those bridge financings. As interest rates go up, those 3-year bridges are going to start to come back in record numbers. I think the website CoStar is now coming up with a feature on their database for delinquent mortgages. So we're going to start looking at those. And then we're looking at TREP, TREPP.com. That's another company that also tracks all of not just the CMBS notes, but also any notes that are in, I think there's some particular clearinghouse where they can see if these are 30, 60, 90 days in workout, and you'll know about those properties. Mitch, back in 2010, that's the only place we looked. Now, last 5 years, nothing. Now you're starting to see those numbers on those databases starting to creep up.
So where are the best opportunities right now in 2022?
Non-primary markets, secondary and tertiary markets, preferably properties that are not listed by brokers, going directly to the owners, and finding those properties where you got a really absentee landlord, pretty much the same thing. But right now, that's where our entire focus is on. Those are the places where we see the value. We don't have to deal with the brokers. We don't have to deal with a bidding war. We don't have to deal with stupid cap rates. And we can get in there, and the market is, we're not relying on the market to bring value to the deal. We're relying on our own expertise as owner operators to bring value to the deal. The market, will be great if it works in our favor, but we always make sure that the market can just hurt us, and we don't need it to help us.
I believe that in that, because we've never, in my organization, never counted on appreciation. Of course, in Texas, appreciation is very minimal anyways, but I like it that way, because we have to find properties that have profit in them, but it needs to be unlocked.
Yes, that's exactly
unlocked by remodeling it, or by leveling it, or by, bringing up the occupancy or whatever, Yeah. And so that's on me. Let's say, Mitch, do you think you can paint this house? Yes. Well, then if you do paint it and you fix this floors, then you're going to make some money. I mean, that's counting on me. I'm not guessing on some external force to make me money.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is that these people, these newbies in the business are relying on the interest rates to continually be this ridiculously low number. They're continually expecting cap rates that could continue to compress. It's not going to happen. They're expecting the demand for our product and the occupancy to still remain high. We're going to have a bump. Ivy Zellman says we're having a bump. And all of those things, if any one of those things shifts, your deal goes south. And that's not the type of deal I want to be in.
All right, you guys, I just want to say this one more time before we get too far down the road. I want you to go to 1000houses.com/MFOS for multifamily operating system, and get over there and get your free report on how to find the right market for you, how to find your market. Like, where are you going to start this business? And while we're on the subject of starting, where does a newbie start? Where does a beginner, from where do they start?
You know, it's really about learning. I like you said, Mitch, I want to talk to you first. I want to make sure to figure out, am I the right fit for you? Is multifamily the right fit for you? Even if you love it and know that you're going to do it, okay, there's certain things you need to do to make sure you're starting off on the right foot. I want to find out what your knowledge base is. What boot camps have you attended? What courses have you done? What books have you read? Really let me know what your background is in this business. And then tell me what your background is in business. Remember, because this is a business. I want to know that you know what you're getting yourself into. Because everybody thinks, oh, I just got to do. How about that one? You're one deal away from retirement. Yeah, even that guy wasn't one deal away from retirement. So you got to build it the right way.
For anybody who thinks like that, or for everybody it was go big or go home, there's a million upon millions of them dead in the streets for the one guy that made it. Yeah.
But I tell you, I love my track record. I love listening to my students come back and say, yep, I'm up to 1,000 apartments now, because we did it the right way early on. It may have taken them a year. It may have taken them 2 years to do their first deal, but they kept at it and they kept at it and they kept at it. This is not, when I hear somebody, I'll never forget, there's one young couple, they were sending me deal after deal after deal to review. And I'm like, whoa, wait, let's focus here. No, we got 90 days. We're going to do this in 90 days. Yeah, well, they are the people that you were just talking about, Mitch, on the street right now doing nothing. And it's really too bad, because had they stayed with it, they'd be owning their first property by now, easily.
Yeah, this career it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
And you get, if you're applying yourself, you should be getting smarter, more and more knowledge every day. They can't take that knowledge away from you. And you just keep getting smarter all the time. People, when I talk to people, I say, look, I'm not brilliant by any stretch of the imagination. I wouldn't score good on an SAT, never have. One of the reasons is I can find 5 answers for one question, because I see all different angles. And I said, if you just give me some more information, but it's impossible to answer right now, it could be all 4 could be right.
Mitch, I don't know why you weren't a lawyer, because you know what they say when you have 2 lawyers in there. What do you have when you have 2 lawyers in the room?
What?
Three opinions. See, that's all you're saying.
Yeah. So just the reason why I shine in that area is I've had 27 years of staying in the same lane. I've seen it, the good times, the bad times, the recession, the COVID. I know pretty much what happens. I mean, there may be COVID was completely new, off the chart. We didn't know what was going to happen, but we know what happened now.
Yeah.
And I think there may be 2 real recession-proof businesses. And I never will say that any business is, because that's a huge statement. But if there is such thing as a recession-proof business, probably affordable rentals and affordable owner finance housings are 2. Because if you can't live in a house for the price of an apartment rent, then you're under a bridge. And I think by the time all these apartments can't be rented and all these little houses can't be sold with owner financing, we're picking up guns and we're going somewhere. Your money really didn't matter.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, my friend, I really appreciate you taking the time to be on.
It's always good to see you. Always good to see you.
Did I leave anything out that you wanted to say or do? Or
no.
Tell us where they can, you're going to have your website. all your contact information, everything's going to be at 1000houses.com/MFOS, multifamily operating system. Go over there, get a consult with Mr. Dobens and see if you're a match. I have real confidence that Charles doesn't want to play on a losing team any more than I do. So if he doesn't think he can help you, we're not going to do it.
I'm going to tell you, and I mean, don't waste my time. I mean, if you're not going to go after this, knowing that this is what you want to do and this is your passion in life, I'll give you a bunch of books you can read. But if you want to get this thing done, come work with me. That's the name of the game. Yep,
and no better way to do it. Remember, you're either going to pay the street or you're going to pay a coach, but the education will never be free. I don't care what you think, it will never be free. And the street is brutal. It can run you right out of business in a heartbeat. No pep talk, no condolences, no anything. It's just going to spit on you and kick you down the road. It's a lot less anxiety to get with someone and go, I don't know what I'm doing here, Charles. What do I do?
No, I'm writing that one down. I got my white pad right here. It's either the street or it's a coach, but it's never free.
Yeah, but you're gonna write a check, believe me.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna walk past money that you never saw.
Yep. And you'll never get an opportunity again.
You can measure a coach by how much money they make you. You'll never be able to measure by how many lawsuits and how many losses they kept you out of, because you can't measure it because you didn't lose.
Yeah.
So when you see a coach and you say, man, that coach made me my money back, it's probably way more than that, because he probably kept you out of a lot of trouble during your young, stupid era.
Yep. That's how you said, my top student, he's got 6,000 units. And he says, Charlie, the best advice you've ever given me are those deals that I didn't do. And I said, you're absolutely
they'll kill you.
right.
They'll set you back for years. Some of these deals could bankrupt you in the bigger echelons.
I always say that if you do the first deal wrong, you'll never do another deal. And the problem is that in order to get to your goals in this business, you got to do multiple deals. You got to build a business. And that's the only way. That's the only way.
And the most important one is the first one, because that's the make you or break you one. That's the one that can give you the confidence and the enthusiasm, or the one that can scare the living crap out of you.
And I say, you're only going to need me for the first 2 deals. After that, we're just friends. That's it.
Good talk, man. I really like you. And if you ever get down to San Antonio, please look me up. We'll have
absolutely. I can't wait to see that big ranch I heard about.
You're officially invited.
What's that?
You're officially invited. It's 45 minutes from the Needle, downtown San Antonio, right there. And
okay. Now wait, how many acres is it?
600.
600 acres. Gosh. And you have to mow those acres. Huh?
I don't have to mow it. That's why, you have helpers.
Okay, that's right.
Delegation. Sometimes I like to drive the big tractor because it makes me feel real, it's actually kind of cathartic, you're driving this 15-foot wide mower behind you, and you go by and you make your ranch look like a golf course. It's kind of cathartic, but I don't have to do it if I don't want to. And guess what? Mowing the grass got old about after the second time with the riding lawnmower.
Oh, that's interesting, because you talk about therapeutic. I mean, one of the best jobs I ever had was working on a golf course in college. I mean, you just put the headsets on and you just tool around in your little mower, and it was great. I loved it. And you play golf afterwards. So
the only problem down here is 110.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
You're like a fried egg driving a golf cart.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have that problem. Right now it's 24 degrees up here in New England. So why am I here? So.
All right, my friends.
All right, Mitch
Stephen with the 1000 Houses podcast. Please check out Charles Dobens and get your free copy of the Multifamily Market Finder, where you can help discover the right market for you simply and easily. Also, that link will get you over to the show notes, which you'll be able to find out everything and anything you want to know about Charles Dobens. In fact, if you go over there, you could get sick of Charles Dobens by the time you get out, because it's
never happened
over there about him.
Never happened. I always have a new shtick going on. You never know what you're going to get.
All right. We're out of here, boys and girls. Bye now.
Take care.